What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Summer Gravity, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, let's talk about Glintflation, because Glintflation is a very real thing. Now, we know that the team increased the cost across the board on a lot of items, but one area that I want to focus on specifically today is energy, because I had not realized that energy was way more expensive from a Glint standpoint than it was previously. Now, if I just go and check DEC real quick, I don't think that there were any changes. Yeah, it looks like 500 is still the maximum amount. But if we go back over here to Glint, you will see that if somebody is in Champion 1, it now costs 10,000 Glint for energy, which is absolutely wild. Now, the thing is, for myself, I don't remember where the numbers were before. Maybe again, I can't remember exactly what it was for Champion 1. Was it 5,000? Maybe somebody can remind me. What I do remember was for Champion 3, which is something that I would reach, it was 2,800. That is now up to 5,000, so almost double the price. And the reason I can remember 2,800 or paying 2,800 per energy is because of the fact that I recognize every 3 wins that I got, which is roughly 900 to 1,000 Glint, would essentially get me another energy purchase. And I was trying to calculate it in that way for the last month, last couple of months, or even the last year. So even though I didn't purchase energy that often, just that framework was in my head of like where I was in terms of my level in the game and how much I could be spending on Glint before I decided to just start, hoarding it for the new set that just dropped. So the fact that the energy, or the cost of energy, I should say, is up significantly led me to a downstream effect of that, which would lead my expectation to be that the amount of games being played should have dropped off dramatically once this was introduced last month in October. And the fascinating thing is, I don't see that. I don't see that anywhere in the data. Now, if we look at all battles, right, so let's just remove everything, and obviously survival isn't even here, I don't see a significant drop-off anywhere in the month of October. It does seem like we are still at a decently high clip per game, right? So 59,000 total battles that was played on November 2nd. And then if I go back to, let's just say, early October, right? So what's the lowest in October? Yeah, 57,000. I mean, so there's no, it doesn't seem like it. Now, maybe we haven't had as many spikes, right? So 66,000 here towards the end of the season or the beginning of the new season, right? 66, 65,000. Whereas here, at roughly the beginning of the season, we had 77,000. We had another day where we were over 70,000, 71,000. So I guess we haven't seen that. Well, I mean, even October 25th was 72,000. So it's tough to say, right? Like, I'm not quite sure what the reasoning is for that. Now, if we were to look at specific formats, and I would go to wild format, to be the first kind of culprit for this, just because there's players there with tons of Glint, tons of SPS, tons of whatever. If anything, it looks like it's increased, right? The amount of battles being played in Wild seems to have increased. If I look at the average, I guess we don't have the daily average here on just Wild format, but it's, I mean, what are we in the low 20s or so? And here we were kind of in the, I guess, lower 20s, so the 21,000 range versus the 22, 23,000 range. If we take a look at modern format, again, I'm just kind of doing a visual here. If you take a look at modern format, it kind of seems like the average has popped up as well. So I'm curious to see, and I'm curious to know how people are reacting to this. I thought that there was a ton, like an absolute ton of what's that called? Energy being purchased for Glint at the higher levels of the game, and people, players who just had a ton of it. But now obviously the data isn't really supporting that in terms of the Glint or the amount of battles being dropped. So maybe people were never buying energy with Glint. Maybe they were buying it with DEC, or maybe they transitioned from Glint over to DEC because DEC is now at 60% of its peg value. And if you're winning, tons and tons of SPS per battle, well, I mean, the amount of DEC, even if you have to spend 500 DEC, like we're talking about 25 cents, right? Or 30, we'll call it 30 cents for 500 DEC. I'm sure top tier players are making more than that. In fact, I didn't even plan to do this, but let's just go and see where players in the top tier are how much they're earning, right? And then we can close out this video. So if we go to season activity, and I will stay in Wild, just because, And let's go to, so SPR Stoner, for example. So we're still in the first couple of days of the season here. Let's go check out the battles for SPR Stoner. Shout out to you for being at the top of the leaderboard currently. And you can see here, making 27.8 SPS per battle, or at least in that battle. 33 SPS here, 34 SPS, 34. So if I was to just go over to, I don't know, let's see if B-Swap's going to load for me. 34 SPS, right? So let's see. If I win 34 SPS and I was to just go sell this on the marketplace, that would get me 391 DEC. Interesting. So it's not even that, is it? SPS has dropped. DEC has dropped. I guess people are just. Am I missing something here? Like what is going on? Or maybe is SPR Stoner not the best one? Hold on. Let's see if people are earning way more than that in modern format, for example. Like I said, I wasn't planning to check the battles here, so I'm kind of just doing this on the fly. But this is more so an open-ended question for all of you guys, as I am curious to see if you have any insights into why energy consumption is not down, or battles are not down, if we would assume energy consumption is. Okay, so somebody here is not making anything? 0.25 SPS per win? All right, hold up. And they're at the top of the leaderboard? Oh, hold on. You know what? It's because I'm not looking all the way at the top. I'm sorry. That was my mistake. I'm going to get called out in the comments, but I'm glad I caught myself first. I was looking at the champion. So let's go to Vugtis, just out of curiosity, not because Vugtis does have a lot of SPS staked. And so if we look at this, 36 SPS. That is fascinating to me. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm a little befuddled by this, as I was expecting the trend. Again, not this part, but just from the get-go, right? Like, why aren't battles coming down if it's much more expensive to play and buy energy from a glint standpoint? Maybe it's because DEC is lower, but I don't. Maybe I'm not doing the math right. It's early in the morning. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That is all I have for you guys in this video. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.